Chair recognizes the gentleman from Tennessee.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I'll try to make this as quick as possible. I'm going to repeat what the gentleman from Georgia said. I am not as eloquent as many of the speakers who have spoken today. Looking around this room, I see a number of people who have been to almost every meeting, starting at Mount Vernon, all over the country that we've had on this issue the last several years. During the last several years, to use a football metaphor that my friends from Oklahoma can understand, we've advanced the ball at times. At times we've had the ball, we've lost yardage. At times we've had some penalties thrown against us. At this meeting, I can say we've advanced it further than any meeting that we've ever had, that I've attended, and I believe in any meeting we've ever had in this country. There's many individuals around, without calling the names, who I could thank and who played integral parts of previous meetings and the meeting here today. But before we close, I want to publicly thank Representative Kelly Townsend, who played a bigger role leading up to this meeting, organizing this meeting, making sure all of us were kept informed with what was going on both before and while we're here. I want to publicly thank our President, Kelly Townsend.
Thank you. Thank you. Trying to make me cry. Any other points of personal privilege? Yeah. So, my few words, I want to mention too, whether we're eloquent or not as eloquent, I don't think is necessarily the issue. It's what's in our heart. What motivates a man? What motivated you to come to this? I suspect you came to this because you felt like we didn't have any other choice. Many recognize the risk to your political career by coming here, the risk to your affiliations and your relationships with others by coming to the Arizona BBA Planning Convention. So because you've come with those risks known to you, it's proof to me what's in your heart and what motivated you to come here. And with that in mind, I think of George Mason and the stories we've learned about him, our forgotten founder. Stories of how he was the author of the Bill of Rights when he penned those very similar declarations of liberty for the Virginia Constitution. And he insisted that they be included in the Constitution when it was written, and that he had the courage to stand and say, I can't sign this document without those protections. And the political fallout that happened after that to him. And he found his place in history as a forgotten founder. When you go to Gunston Hall, his property in Virginia, you'll see, and on the website you can read about it, how George Washington referred to him as his former friend because he wouldn't sign the Constitution. But yet he believed so strongly in what he was doing, he was willing to risk the political fallout. And they tell the story that he went home. He had medical issues. He was tired. Perhaps you might even be able to say he washed his hands of it all. And 2 years later, when those Bill of Rights were put in, it wasn't by him. And someone else got the credit for it. We've put a lot on the line by doing this. And it's going to be a struggle as we move forward. We are going to have the motivation, the proper motivation to continue on. in the storm that comes, if it comes, when we get closer. The heat is going to rise. And I would ask you to please withstand that heat. Do not wash your hands, because you're not motivated for any kind of glory to go down into the history of the new founders. They call us, so you're no founders. No, we are not founders. We are stewards. And we're not doing this to try and go out in history as someone on the level of the founders. That is not why we are here. And today we remember George Mason. He didn't do it for glory, but yet I am happy that Minnesota remembered him, and he's here with us today. And I think the providence of this day and the significance of this day is, to me at least, is proof that he has his fingerprints on what we're doing. So I just encourage you, please, remember today, remember this feeling and knowledge that we are not doing this for self-purposes. We are doing it because we believe in this country, we love this country, and we feel this is what is going to save our country. So thank you for taking that risk, and thank you for doing it for the right reasons.